Welcome to Oxford Essential 4000 English Words, Episode 4, the show that makes learning new vocabulary a part of your daily life. I'm Emma.
And I'm Frank. It's great to be back with you all. Emma, you seem to have a little extra sparkle in your eye today. Good coffee?
The best coffee, Frank. And also a fantastic list of words for our listeners. I'm excited to dive in.
Oh, you've got my curiosity piqued. So what's on the menu for today? Lay it on us.
All right, get ready. Today we have verb, mouth, output, elevator, provided, electrical, animal, tolerate, magnificent, and robe.
That's quite a mix. We're going from something as fundamental as verb all the way to magnificent robe. It sounds like we're building a sentence about a very fancy king who also happens to be a grammar teacher.
Ha, I like that. Let's see if we can make that happen. But first, let's start with the basics. Our very first word is verb. In English, a verb is a word that describes an action, state, or occurrence. In short, it's a doing word.
也就是动词, the engine of the sentence. Without a verb, nothing really happens, right? It's just a bunch of nouns staring at each other.
Exactly. For example, in the sentence, she runs every morning. Runs is the verb. It shows the action. But verbs can also show a state of being, like in, he is a doctor. The verb there is is.
Right, the linking verbs. They connect the subject to more information about it. So, can we make a couple of sentences? How about this? I think, therefore I am. Two verbs in one classic sentence.
An excellent and very philosophical example, Frank. Think is an action, and am is a state of being. Here's another one. We need to verb our way out of this situation.
Wait a minute, you just used verb as a verb? That's so meta. You can't do that.
I just did. It's a bit of a language joke, but it shows how central the idea of action is to the word itself. Let's move on before our listeners' brains start to ache. Next up is mouth. A mouth is the opening in the lower part of the human face, surrounded by the lips, through which food is taken in and from which speech and other sounds are emitted.
也就是嘴巴. Okay, the biological definition is clear. But we use it in other ways too, don't we? Like the mouth of a cave or the mouth of a river.
Precisely, it can refer to any opening. For instance, he stood at the mouth of the dark tunnel, hesitating. It can also be used in expressions. Have you ever heard of by word of mouth?
Oh, absolutely. That's when information spreads from person to person through conversation, not through written text. For example, the new restaurant became popular purely by word of mouth.
Perfect usage. And let's not forget using it as a verb. If you mouth the words, you move your lips as if you were saying them, but without making a sound. Like, she mouthed a thank you across the room.
That's a useful one for silent communication. All right, from mouth to output. What's the story with this one?
Output is the amount of something produced by a person, machine, or industry. It's the end product of a process. 也就是产出或输出.
So my weekly output of bad jokes is quite high.
I would have to agree. But in a more serious context, you could say the factory's output has increased by 10% this year. It's about production and results.
Does it only apply to physical things? What about ideas or data?
Great question. No, it doesn't. In computing, output is the data produced by a computer. For example, the program's output was a detailed report. Or even in a creative sense, the artist's creative output was impressive.
So I could say, my brain's output is a bit low this morning before coffee.
You certainly could. Now, let's get moving to our next word, elevator. An elevator is a platform or compartment housed in a shaft for raising and lowering people or things to different levels. It's a common word, but it has a specific meaning. 也就是电梯.
Ah, the vertical taxi. A simple one, I think. We took the elevator to the 10th floor. Not much to it, is there?
On the surface, no, but it's interesting to note the difference between American and British English. In the US, it's an elevator. In the UK, it's a lift.
Good point. So if I'm in London, I should ask, where is the lift? If I ask for the elevator, they might just stare at me blankly.
They'll probably understand, but using lift is more natural there. So, another sentence. The hotel has a glass elevator with a great view of the city.
I love those. It feels like you're flying. Okay, next please.
Our next word is provided. This is the past tense of provide, which means to make available for use or to supply something. But it has a second, very important function. The word itself means 提供.
Right, so I could say, the hotel provided us with fresh towels every day. That's the verb form.
Exactly. But provided or provided that can also be used as a conjunction. It means on the condition that or if.
Ah, so it introduces a condition. For instance, you can go to the party, provided that you finish your homework first.
That is a perfect example. It sets a requirement. Here's another. We will sign the contract provided the terms are fair.
It sounds a little more formal than just saying if.
It does. It adds a touch of formality and emphasis on the condition. Let's switch gears to something a bit more technical, electrical. It's an adjective that means relating to, derived from, or operated by electricity. 也就是电的.
So anything that runs on power, like an electrical appliance or an electrical engineer. My computer has a lot of electrical components.
Correct. The storm caused a major electrical failure in the city. It's specifically about electricity. Don't confuse it with electronic, which refers to devices with transistors or microchips. A simple lamp is electrical, but your smartphone is electronic.
That's a great distinction. So an electrical problem might be a power outage, but an electronic problem might be my phone freezing.
You've got it. Now for a word we all know, but let's look closer. Animal. An animal is a living organism that feeds on organic matter, typically having specialized sense organs and a nervous system, and able to respond rapidly to stimuli. 也就是动物.
My dog is my favorite animal, obviously. But sometimes we use it to describe people, and it's not always a compliment. Like, he was driving like a wild animal.
That's a key point. It can be used metaphorically to suggest someone is behaving in a crude, savage, or inhuman way. But it can also be positive, like calling a great athlete a beast or an animal on the field, meaning they are powerful and dominant.
That's true. Context is everything. So a simple sentence would be, the documentary was about a rare animal found only in the Amazon.
A perfect, straightforward example. Now for a word about feelings and endurance. Tolerate. To tolerate something means to allow the existence, occurrence, or practice of something that one dislikes or disagrees with without interference. 也就是容忍.
So it's about putting up with something you don't particularly like. For example, I can tolerate his messy room, but I can't tolerate his loud music.
Exactly. You're not happy about it, but you accept it. It's often used when talking about behavior or opinions. She can't tolerate any form of injustice.
Can it be used in a medical or physical sense too?
Yes, absolutely. You might hear a doctor say, the patient is not able to tolerate solid food yet. It means their body can't handle it. Or some plants can tolerate extreme heat.
Got it. Moving from enduring something to admiring something, our next word is magnificent.
It is indeed. Magnificent means impressively beautiful, elaborate, or extravagant, striking. 也就是壮丽的或华丽的.
This is a big compliment word. You don't just throw it around. You wouldn't say, that's a magnificent cup of coffee, unless it was truly life-changing.
Exactly. It's for things that are grand and impressive. For example, the view from the top of the mountain was magnificent. Or the queen wore a magnificent diamond necklace.
It has a sense of scale and awe to it. The orchestra gave a magnificent performance.
Beautifully put. And that brings us to our final word, which could very well be magnificent. It's robe. A robe is a long, loose outer garment. 也就是长袍.
Like a bathrobe you wear after a shower? He stepped out of the bathroom wearing a fluffy white robe.
That's the most common type, but it can also refer to official garments. For instance, a judge in a courtroom wears a black robe. Or in history, the king was dressed in a royal robe of purple and gold.
So it can be for comfort or for ceremony. I think I prefer the comfort version. A magnificent fluffy robe sounds pretty good right now.
Doesn't it? And with that, we've covered all 10 words. Are you ready to see them in action, Frank?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine we are colleagues discussing a new documentary we just watched, and then we have a little adventure in our office building. I'll start.
Sounds good.
Frank, did you get a chance to watch that new nature documentary? The cinematography was magnificent.
Oh, I did. The part about the deep sea animal that can tolerate extreme pressure was unbelievable. Its body produces its own light, a kind of electrical signal.
Exactly. The total output of information from that one episode was incredible. It really makes you think. Anyway, ready to go grab lunch? We can take the elevator down.
Absolutely, I'm starving. I can barely tolerate this hunger. Wait, what's that sound? The elevator seems to be stuck.
You're kidding. Let me press the button again. Nothing. The verb to move is not in its vocabulary right now. Just don't open your mouth to scream. We need to stay calm.
I'll try. I just wish I were at home in my comfortable robe instead of stuck in this metal box. The building management really needs to fix this.
I agree. They just did maintenance. They provided a report saying everything was fine. I guess there's still an electrical issue.
Provided we get out of here in the next hour, I'll be happy. If not, I might just turn into a wild animal.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Ah, look, it's moving again. Thank goodness.
Phew, that was a close call. A very effective way to use all our words, Emma. A little too realistic, perhaps.
Well, a memorable experience helps the vocabulary stick. We saw how magnificent described the film, how an animal could tolerate pressure, and the problem with the electrical system in the elevator. We even used provided as a condition for your happiness.
And you used verb in a very clever way again. My favorite part, though, was wishing I was in my robe. The ultimate goal. Great scene. And now, I think it's time to put our listeners to the test.
I agree. It's practice time.
All right, everyone. Get ready for a challenge. I'm going to say a sentence in Chinese, and your job is to translate it into English using the words we've learned today. I'll give you a 5-second countdown. Ready for the first one?
Let's hear it. You can do this, listeners.
Here is the sentence. 科学家们正在研究一种能容忍极端环境的动物，并且该研究的核心动词是适应。5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. That was a tricky one with the structure. What are our options, Frank?
I have a couple. How about scientists are studying an animal that can tolerate extreme environments, and the core verb of the research is to adapt?
That's a very direct and accurate translation. Clear and to the point. I like it. Another way could be the animal being studied by scientists can tolerate extreme conditions, where the key verb in their work is to adapt. A slightly different sentence structure, but the same meaning.
Excellent. Both work perfectly. Let's try another one, a bit more descriptive this time.
Bring it on.
Okay, listen closely. 只要电梯正常运行，它就会穿着那件华丽的长袍，张大嘴巴，惊叹于大厅的壮丽。5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow, that one paints a real picture. What have you got?
My first thought is, provided the elevator is working, she will wear that magnificent robe and gasp with her mouth open at the magnificence of the lobby.
You used magnificent twice, but in different forms, magnificent and magnificence. Very nice. It really emphasizes the grandeur. I might say it a little differently. She would stand with her mouth agape, admiring the magnificent lobby, wearing her elegant robe, provided the elevator was operational.
Ooh, I like mouth agape. That's a great phrase. And you put the condition at the end. It shows the flexibility of English sentence structure. Fantastic. Ready for our final challenge?
I am. Let's make it a good one.
This one is about work and results. Here it is. 只要提供了正确的电气图，我们的团队就能显著提高产量。
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And stop.
A very practical sentence. How would you translate it, Frank?
I would say, provided the correct electrical diagrams are supplied, our team can significantly increase its output.
Clean and professional. That's a perfect business context sentence. An alternative could be, our team's output will increase dramatically, provided that we are given the right electrical schematics, using given instead of supplied and schematics for diagrams.
Both get the job done. That was a great session. We covered everything from grammar with verb, to a dramatic elevator escape, to a queen in a magnificent robe.
We certainly did, and our listeners did a fantastic job with the translation challenges. You're all getting better every week.
Absolutely. That's all the time we have for today on Oxford Essential 4000 English Words. Keep practicing, and don't be afraid to use these new words.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Join us next time for another batch of essential words. Until then, take care and keep learning.
Bye for now.